What excites me most about the partnership? The opportunity that we can provide the students in an economically disadvantaged area.
Welcome to Tech Talk at WSU Tech. I'm Dr. Sheree Utash, and I am thrilled today to have one of the newest members of our team that is doing remarkable work off-site from Wichita, Dan Boley from CTEC.
Thank you. Dan Boley, CTEC Executive Director.
What does CTEC stand for?
Oh, yep. Southeast Kansas Career and Technical Education Center. So we've been around for a little bit, and we're just trying to help build the workforce in Southeast Kansas.
So how did CTEC start? I want to go back in history when it first began. I mean, how did it start?
So in the early 2015, roughly, there was a building for sale. A lot of schools wanted to include and bring everybody in one location because cost of teaching these programs are expensive for one school to bear.
Was this more like the high schools wanted to come together? Okay.
Yes. So the school districts kind of wanted to come together. County commissioners thought it was a good idea. Some local funding. So everyone came together, about 15 entities, and purchased some property that the building sits on now. And it just evolved from there, from board of directors to just growing enrollment, post-secondary, high school students, and roughly 150 students this semester.
So the original piece of this was, I think, if I'm right, high schools, industry, Chamber of Commerce, they kind of all came together, public-private partnerships, sort of, and said, this is a need, and this is the way we're going to do this.
Yes. So some funding, local folks, the Bignell family, it was a great donation to help purchase the building, USD 250 Foundation. And then, this Chamber of Commerce, City of Pittsburgh, county commissioners, all 6 Crawford County schools all came together and said, this is what we need to do to help reduce the burden on actual school districts and put it in one location, and then we can thrive from there.
So tell us about the role that you have at CTEC today, but tell me about the role that you had prior.
So today, obviously, I'm executive director of CTEC in partnership with WSU Tech, but prior, I was on the board of directors. Was on there a few years. I became on the board of directors from the school board, local school district. I was on the school board, and they appoint somebody. I ended up being the appointee, and I was in industry at the time. And so the school board, I stayed with the board of directors, and I left industry and needed something in that time. So I was doing some other things, but we had our executive director at the time needed to step away, and so the board, the board's like, hey, this is something you can step down and do. Actually, I got asked, can you do both of them? And I said, no, our bylaws avoid that. So, but I said, possibly, but I pushed back, right? The pace of it was so slow. I knew education would be a struggle for me. But through time and some things, I said, what's best for the people? I have a lot of kids, and years coaching sports and things, and I said, why not do this and help the workforce in Southeast Kansas?
So about a year ago, I mean, really, almost. It hasn't even been a year.
No.
It has not been a year.
Another month and a half or so.
That's right. So let's wind back to about late March, I think, of a year ago. Okay. What happened?
Okay, so late March, we, as board of directors, and myself, as someone we'd looked into, had decided that we needed to change our pace, right? We'd been established 8, almost 9 years. We had 100 students roughly. We weren't making the impact we thought we would make. And so we needed to look for something to really make an impact. And of course, me always trying to improve things, said, let's look at our partnerships. And WSU Tech came about as, hey, we need an educational partner for our nonprofit to be able to continue this. And obviously being one of the largest technical colleges there were and willing, we reached out and we're like, hey, can we sit down and have a conversation? Mm-hmm. And we met, and I brought a PowerPoint slide, and I remember you were like, did you email that to me? Yeah, I did. You got it. But we found it, and it's all good. And then we went through it, and the ball started rolling was it late March?
It
First
went
weekend.
fast.
Very quick because we had a July 1 timeline we were trying to hit, or August 14th, but by July 1 is when we started moving forward.
So let's talk about how CTEC felt like they could, that entity, if partnered with WSU Tech, could become, really true to the mission of what WSU Tech does. Talk a little bit about that.
So, as I said, it was originally formed to really help the workforce and students that wanted to be in the trades. And we were kind of stagnant, is the phrase I use. Same thing. We were doing good things, but not where we wanted to be. And we wanted someone to excel and be able to open opportunities for us. So WSU Tech's opportunities and what we were showing, our students' abilities where they could thrive. That was just something where we knew this was the best partnership we could get because of the opportunities we had. And the nonprofit side, we weren't reaching out to the adult learners as well as we wanted to. And we just needed to flip the switch.
Okay, and the programs that we do there are very indicative of industry need.
Yes.
So what programs do you have at CTEC in Pittsburgh?
Currently this semester, welding, construction, masonry, heavy equipment, aerospace aviation maintenance, with partnership with you guys, and plant science, automotive, and HVAC, or
There's
heating,
a lot
air, and
going on
ventilation.
there.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's currently.
When you
Next
think
semester
about
we'll-
this, we're not 1 year in. We have the first group coming out
Yes.
in May.
Yeah.
What's this last year been like for you?
Exhilarating because we've got to move, right? We're on month 22 of this, or month 10 of this. I can't even do the math.
Yeah.
We made that transition. We knew we had to move these programs over so we didn't leave high school students behind. We knew we wanted to add some programs. So from that July 1 timeline till August 14th, when we said we've got to have this going, I want to push and move things. And so our partnership worked out well because you guys, you were all on board for it, right? You were like, yeah, let's do it. I think we can do this. And so between the two entities, we made it move. And now, we have our students that didn't get left behind. They got rolled right in, continued right
Nobody
on track.
missed a beat.
And here in 2 months, we'll be the first group coming through. Plus, we've already added programs. We've updated the facility some. We're still working through those things. There's a lot.
So tell me about your background, because you don't come from education.
No.
And tell me about your background, and along with that, why has this been a good fit because of your background?
Okay. This is a good fit, even in more of a backstory. I grew up at a young age, very little, and it's just in one of those internal fires that made you do better than you had before. And then I ended up through some years of different things and some college classes and being a normal, dumb teenager. I ended up in the Army at about 21 years old. And that really gave me something to drive with. And I had a lot of good experiences there, but that just pushed my motivation to get things done, move forward. So I took that and the things I'd seen there growing up. I ended up, when I got out of the military, I went into industry and pushed, and I had a large area that you didn't have time to slow down. Business world, you got to move. And I did get on a school board. I was on the school board for a little bit there. And so I seen the pace school boards move compared to industry, and I knew that would be a challenge for me. Like I said, taking the position prior. But I knew that what I had experienced in life up to that point and moving back to Southeast Kansas, because I'd lived in a lot of places, I wanted to make a difference in the youth. And like I said, I've got a lot of children, and I wanted to make sure they have opportunities. And you hear the community, oh, I wish I had that. And then workforce in general. We just needed to give an opportunity to those students. And in doing that, it worked with my motivation to really drive things forward. Education is not for me, but I have to know education, or at least learn education, move us forward in the right direction. So it was a weird mix, but my history gave me the drive to get there. I had to teach myself a little education, but we're still moving forward.
And you're drinking from the fire hydrant on all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
What was your role in the Army?
Primarily 11 Charlie. It was my MOS. But I initially was part of the Presidential Salute Battery in Washington, D.C. Did a lot of things there with Arlington National Cemetery, White House, Capitol, stuff like that. And I didn't join the Army to dress up and press my uniform every single day. And so I rotated out of there and done normal Army things for the next few years. And so it was a variety of items throughout the military years.
Well, first of all, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Because that is a sacrifice that you made and your family made in order to serve our country. And so I thank you for that. Were you ever one of those that marched in front of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington?
No, but that is the unit that does that.
That's what I thought.
A good buddy of mine I went to basic training with actually did it.
Okay.
I went to 11 Charlie and so forth, and he was one that did it.
Great.
They only do it for about a year because it's so rough on their bodies, but it was
It
a
is.
very unique option and honor to be able to
It's-
do it and
yeah.
be a part of that.
Yeah, but it's got to really play havoc on
Yeah,
because of the just the stature, the pace,
yeah,
and the hours that they do.
yeah,
So, I have the opportunity to serve on your board.
yes.
And I'm just going to tell you, I love serving on your board because, boy, when he gets in a board meeting, he gets things done. And
Gotta move.
I love the way that you do that. I really appreciate that. Tell us a little bit about your board because the board is an advisory board.
Yep.
You're part of WSU Tech.
Yep.
All the employees there, including you, are WSU Tech employees.
Yep.
But the board serves in an advisory position. Tell us a little bit about your board. How do you manage your board? How do you work with them?
Oh, that's tricky. No, the board's been good to me. When I was on the board and I was president, vice president of the board, they were good. They learned my pace was to move. Now being director and back to the board, like you said, I don't want to waste anybody's time. That happens a lot in board meetings. I try not to. But my board, great individuals, president, vice president are both school districts, superintendents of school districts. All 6 schools, like I said, are represented in there. A couple of counselors, just regular board members in there. And then county commissioners, all 3 have a seat. One county commissioner serves. The other 2 have an appointee from a business in the industry. So one owns a local lumberyard. The other one works in a different entity. And then Pitt State has because of our place in Crawford County, and then you as well because of our partnership there, casino. Right, a lot of our initial funding for the 501c3 was through the casino and still is. And I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, City of Pittsburgh. City of Pittsburgh has a place, and then Chamber of Commerce, Business Education Alliance. There's 15 members on the board. It takes a lot, but as long as you're communicating with them and pushing them, hey, what is the direction we need to go? Recently, I had a meeting with the facilities committee. Hey, I can make these decisions, guys, but can you help me along here?
Sure. What does the city of Pittsburgh think of the WSU Tech CTEC partnership?
It is very beneficial to all the students there. It is a unique because of Pitt State and Pittsburgh State University being there, and that's their service area. They're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? A lot of people are like, what happened here? And you got to explain that this is a partnership. Pitt State couldn't complete it due to statutes and things, and we needed to do what was best for the students and the workforce. They are on board with it, but you obviously got some diehard Gorilla fans out there.
Sure.
Not against by any means, but what's best for the community and for the students, adult learners or high school students.
So I think it's really important to note to anybody that's watching this that so much of the kind of a guiding principle of why we did this. Number 1, to help the high school students in your area. Number 2, to provide that workforce for industry. But the third thing is very much like what we do here in Wichita, to move students on to the university. And the same thing in Pittsburgh as we continue to build those educational and career pathways from CTEC to Pittsburgh State University. And I think that's a super important piece of this because that's the work that we do here in Wichita, and certainly the same work that we want to do in Pittsburgh as appropriate.
Yeah, I was just having a conversation earlier today with some entities about the pipeline we're trying to create and make sure people understand. So your question about Pittsburgh there, we're trying to get the college even to understand, look, we're not trying to be in competition here. We're trying to pipeline individuals to you. So they may want to just go out and swing a hammer for simple reference,
Right.
or they might go to your construction management program.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to pipeline and help the area as a whole.
Yeah, it'll take us a few years to
Yeah.
get that cadence going, but that is a real one of the real primary objectives of
Yeah.
what we're working on together.
Yeah.
What excites you most about the partnership?
What excites me most about the partnership? The opportunity that we can provide the students in an economically disadvantaged area. There are so many, as you know, obviously 170 plus programs, and I'm probably not even close at this point. The opportunities we can provide in this partnership, and really everything from, and the air. I'm going to say this wrong.
Choose
but
aerospace.
Choose aerospace, but the air capital of the U.S. or
Air
whatever.
capital of the world.
There you go. The back end of that, from our Choose Aerospace to anything that we could help the area with, on top of just the advanced manufacturing and the normal things we're pushing through, excites me that we can maybe help increase the economically disadvantaged in Southeast Kansas.
That's really, and that's why we do the work we do.
That's right.
What has been the most challenging?
Oh, most challenging. Most challenging, probably the facility side of it. This piece, I like challenges and strategy. We're working through some things, but getting the facility up to speed, because we allowed it to fall behind a little bit previously, and so to get it up to speed and make sure we have enough facilities to complete that. Everything else, I like it. I enjoy it. It's not the most challenging.
Good. So we talked a little bit about students and providing this opportunity. Share a student story with me, and maybe share an employer moment with me that's really come out of this last 10 months.
This last 10 months. I'll share, we have three. We have a local manufacturer down the road, does some metal manufacturing. We have 3 students. They called us and we're like, hey, we need some students. We need some welders, but if anything, you can get us some bodies that want to be in this environment. And we worked them through the first semester, getting them the basic skills. We, at this point, still have them down the street working. They're still coming to class, but then they go down the street and work for those individuals. 2 of them are actually doing welding and manufacturing with those folks down there. But it's just good to know that we have a 100% placement rate out of our programs. If you're completing a certificate, it's 100% placement rate. So if it's from welding to construction, any of that, we're getting you somewhere you want to be, gainful employment. Those 3 individuals, just knowing where they come from, I didn't really give that backstory, but knowing where they come from and the opportunities we're giving them now, it's life-changing for them. I was having a conversation a few weeks back with an individual that had went through our welding program, and this has happened in the last 12 months, but she went through the program prior. She had completed the program, didn't have a car, didn't have a driver's license. We literally helped her get her driver's license at 18 years old. Got her through the program. Actually, she was going to graduate early, convinced her to stay for another, take one more class. So you can be in there and complete the semester. And then now, shorten the story for you, she is welding for a nuclear power plant and making significantly more money than anyone in her family ever has. And, those are good stories to have.
They are. It's that good life-changing business that we get the honor of being involved in.
Yeah.
So what's the future? What's next? I always like to know what's going to happen next.
Well, between the 2 of us, the way our brains work, or way I feel they work, the next year, I anticipate we'll be somewhere between 200 and 225 students at CTEC come this fall, working through graduations, pushing certificates. Beyond the next 12 months, it's just wherever it ends up.
Yeah.
You know, we come up with different ideas, things that are beneficial, adjusting to the environment we have. It's hard to project. Our long-term overall goal is to do what's best for the workforce in Southeast Kansas.
Yeah.
Or in general, not even just Southeast Kansas, but
Yeah. So that's the work that we do, build that
Yeah.
talent pipeline. We've taken what we do in Wichita and we're doing the exact same thing in the great structure that you all started
Yeah.
with CTEC. And I just think it's an incredible thing that your community built this up to start it.
Yeah.
And now we've had just a real privilege to come in and work with you on this. I know that you are burning the road back and forth. We would love to have a four-lane highway, wouldn't we?
yes, that would be great. That would be great.
We would love that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that would make that trip
Yeah.
back and
The
forth.
passing lanes aren't quite enough.
They're not quite enough. Dan, I want to thank you so much.
Yeah.
Number one, for coming from Pittsburgh to Wichita to
Yeah.
be with me today on here. And I want to thank you for what you're doing. You are innovative, you're driven, you're passionate, and I see it in you every time I'm with you. And it just makes my heart really happy that you're the one, really leading that charge and creating this kind of new educational concept for the state of Kansas and Pittsburgh, Kansas. So thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.